Why you wake up almost same time every day? After using bathroom, why not able to fall asleep back? Why your mornings are rocking and nights are heart melting? Why does the chemistry are always crackling? The reason is same. An owl is a nocturnal animal. It will be awakened all night and search for food. We as humans, we will be awakened at morning time and go to sleep at night. But some of us who wake up around 10 o'clock, have late lunch, late dinner, at night with pending work will go to sleep at 1 or 2 o'clock. These human night owls have claimed that they have designed that way to be awakened throughout night and sleep at daylight. And they are questioning us that if you recommend 8 hours sleep as a healthy level, is that really matter whether it is 10 to 6 or 12 to 8 or even 2 to 10 o'clock morning? It sounds right, but it's not. Your sleeping duration only not matters, the timing also. In this world, a single cell organism or a multicellular organism like us have a biological rhythm without any difference. Each individual have a rhythm in us which is called circadian clock. This circadian clock has a master clock and some suboptimal peripheral clocks in it. This master clock need an external cue in order to tune itself. That external cue is light. Our sunlight will tune this clock, this master clock, in order to produce the signals at the right timing to other peripheral clocks, which defines the timing of each and every process in your body, which includes cell production, cell repair mechanism, digestion, absorption. Everything happen at the particular time because these clocks coordinate within themselves. This master clock is suprachiasmatic nucleus, a group of neurons situated in our brain region hypothalamus. How a brain region will get external light in order to tune itself? Through eyes. Our eyes have a group of cells called melanopsin ganglion cells. These are photoreceptors which transfer the signal to your brain in order to produce the signal to the peripheral clock. This signal transfer from your molecular clock en route through your hormones and peripheral nervous system. Now these signals reach the molecular level. In molecular level, in every cell, we have certain group of genes which is called clock genes. These genes, after receive the signal, will start to produce a protein. So morning time, this protein production will happen. These proteins will signal other systems in our body to work at particular timing. After sunset, these proteins will start to suppress its own production. This loop will happen each and every day in molecular level. This circadian rhythm is essential for our body in order to function properly. If the circadian system disrupted, what will happen? This include your cognitive decline, mood disorders, metabolic diseases, cardiovascular diseases, and up to a level, cancer. There are many breast cancer studies have been documented among night shift workers. We don't want to get triggered by the negative health effects, but we need to emphasize on that because of its importance. To understand its seriousness, in order to manage the circadian system, we need to consider the factors which control the circadian system in us. First factor, as I said before, is light. The daylight timing, which is sunrise to sunset, is what the time of activity. And after sunset, it's the time for sleepiness. Our circadian system is designed like this way. So these morning sunrise and sunset are two crucial time in order to trigger our circadian system. The light we are receiving from the solar horizon during the sunrise and sunset is enriched with blue light, which is known for triggering the alertness response. By viewing the sunlight at morning time, we can be more alert and motivated throughout the daytime. The same way, seeing the sunset will set the clock again in order to make ourselves into the sleepiness phase. By viewing the sunlight at morning time, my stress hormones cortisol, adrenaline and motivation hormone dopamine will start to spike around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock timing after I wake up. Again at evening, by viewing the sunset, I reset my circadian clock to fall asleep. After 7 o'clock, our system will start to decline in stress hormone levels, and that sleep hormone melatonin will start to spike around that 7 o'clock timing. But unfortunately, sunrise and sunset are a determining factor before Edison. After the invention of artificial light, our light viewing time and activity time has extended till midnight. By viewing the artificial light at night time, our melatonin system will get disrupted. Artificial lights are completely unavoidable, for sure, but we can reduce the impact it created in us. How to do that? Simple formula. You need to receive more daylight during the daylight time, and you should receive less light as much as possible in evening time after the sunset. After the sunset, when our melatonin hormone, our sleep hormone, start to spike, our eye sensitivity also will go high. So even a small amount of light will be more effective. A morning time, light will be around 10,000 lux approximately. At indoor, this will be reduced somewhere around 1000 lux. In case of artificial lights, this range is less as 500 lux. But the impact it created on night time will be high. In order to reduce this impact, you have to get more light during your daytime. And viewing the sunset will reduce this eye sensitivity, thus reduce the impact of artificial light on your sleep-wake cycle. One more thing to consider is reduce the usage of artificial light during evening time. Prefer more dim, yellow, red, warm lights during evening time. Switch off overall lightings and use spotlights for your workspace alone. Our melanopsin ganglion cells are situated mostly on lower part of our retina. In retina, light will always create the invert image. So the melanopsin ganglion cells dense packed at the bottom of your retina will receive more light from overhead. So avoid frequent overhead light usage. Most of the time it requires to change the interior. So it's just an option, but an effective one. Why are you not falling asleep back after using bathroom? Is just because of your lighting. Some things like this are avoidable and some things are completely unavoidable, completely attached with us. Like screen viewing, because that evening time is the only available time to do our work and read. For at least we can reduce the brightness of screen and avoid usage of mobile phone and laptop just 1 hour before sleep. We can change the interior of our home setup, but we have to be social sometime. We have to go out to purchase something, to meet one of your friends. So same like screen viewing and artificial light, social interaction also an important factor to consider. Keep your late time party or dinner out just before 10 or 11 o'clock in order to avoid any circadian disruption. You may think how a master clock control these peripheral clocks in this much coordinated way. The key factor is temperature. Our body temperature will start to spike at the same time when your stress hormone go up, around 7 or 8 at morning. Then after lunch, there will be a dip in temperature. Your nap timing. If you are a person who prefer to nap, that is completely fine, but just keep it short. Sleep in a bright environment, use alarm clock, as your afternoon nap should not affect your night sleep at any way. And after sunset, your temperature will start to decline. So this window from morning 7 to night 7 will be your peak time to keep other two factors, food and physical activity. Sachin Panda and his colleagues conducted an experiment in mice. Mice, because of its nocturnal nature, feed often at night times, but Sachin fed them only at mornings. Interestingly, this time, the mice completely ignored the light cue and started to wake up at the time of food for its survival. Moreover, their liver cell gene expression were also modified accordingly. Thus, in case of lack of external light, our body will set our circadian system based on feeding. So keep your breakfast, lunch at proper timing, at similar time, at same time, every day as much as possible. And the important meal you have to consider is your dinner. If your dinner get delayed, body will take more time to digest compared to normal. Because while your melatonin system go up, your digestion, absorption will get slowed down after the sunset. So the meal after 9 or 10 o'clock will take more time to digest, which leads to the metabolic diseases. And the thermogenicity of food will affect your sleep as well. And the final factor we should consider is physical activity. What time is better to work out, whether it is morning or evening? Your physical activity will go up along with your temperature high. Again, it will go down after sunset along with your temperature. So the temperature is the determining factor for your physical activity and your feeding. Some people will be more active at morning time, some people will be more active at evening time, naturally. But evening time, the 4 to 7 timing is when your temperature will be more high and your stress hormone will be high. Some studies recommend evening time for maximal performance in strength training, and morning time is suitable for cardio, endurance and skill training. But if you continuously train at morning time, your body will adapt for that and there won't be any difference between morning and evening. So instead of arguing morning or evening, keep your activity at morning 7 to 9 or 10. Keep your evening time activity at 4 to 7 timing. And after 7 exercise may affect your temperature and your stress hormone level, thus affect your sleep. You could able to wake up for gym after a week of habituating is just because your adrenal secretion will start to trigger yourself to wake up at morning time. So each day when the clock ticks 7 o'clock, you will start to wake up without conscious effort. There's a thing called phase advance and phase delay. Even if I'm a morning person, I usually sleep around 10 at night. At weekends, I will be little lethargic and my sleep time will get delayed. Thus again next morning I will wake up 2 or 3 hours late. This one day circadian disruption may affect your entire week. Just in case, one weekend you are going to bed late, that means your phase got delayed. This is similar to air travel eastward. To advance this delayed phase, you have to find out your temperature minimum, which is approximately 2 hours before your average wake up time. Then try to wake up at the time of temperature minimum next day with the help of alarm. After wake up, follow the standard circadian protocol of spending time outdoor at sunrise and sunset, getting more daylight, less artificial light and screen viewing at night, and the list goes on. Shift work is completely unavoidable in modern society. Our economy and most of the services depend on shift workers. These night shift workers, how to manage the circadian system. In case of night shift work, if your shift start from 10 o'clock in case, you can keep your physical activity around 8 o'clock and feeding after that. Then you are going to view the artificial light instead of daylight. Again at morning 6 o'clock your shift time will get over. You're going to sleep, that is daylight time, but you need darkness. So cover your room as much as possible. But we can't completely create the darkness most of the time, so you can prefer eye mask. Again, individual differences are there among us. Some people can't view the daylight for obvious eye conditions. So we have to use our self-knowledge and we have to consult with our doctor before starting any protocol. And finally, the answer for the question, do these human night owls really exist? There was an interesting and most famous experiment conducted by researcher Wright and colleagues. The experiment took place for 2 weeks with 8 volunteers. First week, they spent their usual days with artificial light exposure and their melatonin secretion was noted down. Second week, they spent their time in Colorado summer camp under natural daylight cycle. As a result, among everyone, melatonin secretion started to advance just after sunset. Thus, they went to sleep earlier and woke up earlier. Moreover, interestingly, the rate of phase advance of melatonin onset among the people who believed themselves as night owls was too high comparatively. There is definitely chronotype difference between us to be more active during morning or evening, but if you think you are a night owl, most probably you are just circadian disrupted human. Human night owls don't exist. Share this with your roommate who disturbs you with morning alarm, nighttime lights and phone chit chat. To your soulmate who wish you at night 12 o'clock even for Valentine. To the members of highly disoriented generation by WhatsApp and Facebook, your mom and dad. Connect with me in Instagram. Do like and comment this video. If you like to support Certain Instinct, just subscribe it.